guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm ranking all 5 Scream films, from the worst to the best. Now before we start, hit the like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you know for a video. Let's just start. Wes Craven, one of the best horror directors, one of the most iconic horror directors of all time. He is an instant horror legend. The first time I saw his Scream film, and then I watched Scream 2, and then Scream 3, and then Scream 4, instantly fell in love with all of them. Nightmare on Elm Street, this man has created some of the greatest horror films of all time, and I thank you, Wes Craven. And now let's get into the ranking. So coming in last place is going to be Scream 3. Scream 3 is the black sheep of the Scream films. I did not think, while there are many aspects of it that I do like. There are many aspects that I do like. Patrick Warburton, he's great, and it's Patrick Warburton. The 3 lead characters, of course, Sidney, Dewey, Gale, all of them fantastic. Now, the problem for me is the other characters. The other characters, I wasn't invested in them. I wasn't as invested as them as I would want to be. And the actual killer, Roman Bridger, he was fine, I guess, and how he connected to Sidney. He's like her brother. It was okay. It was fine. The script, the dialogue was what was really, really lacking in this film. I think Aaron Kruger did the script for this film. I did not think that it was as good or as quippy with the dialogue as Kevin Williamson has done with his scripts. Kevin Williamson is always going to be a fantastic script writer for a Scream film. This one, he wasn't there, and he was the part that was lacking. So overall, Scream 3 is mostly entertaining. Some of it is not that good. So Scream 3 comes in at last place. Number 4 is going to be Scream 4. Now, I love Scream 4. Scream 4 is a fantastic sequel. They got Kevin Williamson back to write the script, and it shows because this film is 10 times better than Scream 3. Scream 4 just has everything that I loved from the original Scream in this film. You have a great new set of characters. Every single character in this film is fun, entertaining, vibrant, creepy, scary at times. And I think they did a good job with subverting expectations in this film, because Trevor, when I first saw the film, I thought he was going to be the main killer because he did look like that Billy Loomis type character. And I think they did a great job with that. The rest of the characters, you have Kirby, what an awesome character, one of the best characters in the franchise. You have Robbie, you have Jill, of course. Jill is one of the scariest killers, and the reason is because she just wants fame and everything like that for herself, and she is scary in the film. Now, she's not one of my favorites. She's not my favorite killer, but she is a good, creepy and scary killer, and scary as Ghostface. Charlie. Now, Charlie, he is also very creepy. I think he did a great job. His twist when he kills Kirby, I thought it was great. It was handled very, very well. The legacy characters, Sidney, Dewey, Gale, fantastic once again. Overall, Scream 4 is a very, very entertaining Scream film. That's why it comes in at number 4. Number 3 is going to be Scream 2. Now, Scream 2 is a fantastic sequel. This is I think the first Scream film that I ever saw, not in full length. I just saw the opening sequence, but the opening sequence alone terrified me. When I was little, the opening sequence was one of the most memorable sequences in a horror film that I've ever seen, and it terrified me. The whole movie theater sequence is a fantastic setting, very creepy. You don't know who Ghostface is because everyone has a Ghostface mask on. Wes Craven, fantastic job with the sequel. They upped the stakes in the sequel because Dewey gets stabbed. Obviously, he doesn't die, but he gets stabbed in this film, and I thought he was going to die the first time I saw it. But just the whole entire film works very, very well, and I enjoyed it very, very much. So Scream 2 comes in at number 3. Coming number 2 is going to be Scream 2022, Scream, or Scream 5, whatever you want to call it. I really, really like this film. Of course, Wes Craven did not direct it, and he is obviously one of the best horror directors of all time. But they got the directors of Ready or Not. Their Ready or Not film is fantastic. Easily one of my favorite films of 2019, maybe even my favorite film of 2019. The directors, Tyler Gillett and Matt Benton-Leopen, did a great job directing this film. the cinematography, it looks fantastic. It looks like a new Scream film. They didn't have that lighting like in Scream 4, which was one of my issues with Scream 4, but this one, the lighting is fantastic. It's creepy, it's scary. Everything that I loved about it, it reminded me exactly from what was in the original film, and I thought it was great. The characters, fantastic. Some of them are not as good as I would have wanted them to be, but the other characters, awesome. The killers, spoiler warning, well, if you didn't see Scream 5, there are going to be spoilers. The killers are Amber and Richie. Fantastic killers. Amber, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that girl that got set on fire and kept screaming, I think, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In this film, in the third act of the film, she gets like lit on fire and she starts screaming and remind me exactly of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But Richie, Jack Quaid, he is fantastic in this film. He is phenomenal. He's one of the best characters in this film. Just because by his facial expressions, his actual character, he's creepy. Once he reveals himself and he's smiling, he reminds me exactly of Stu. He looks like Stu. He acts like Stu. And he's just very creepy. He's creepy, especially in that third act that takes place in Stu's house, which I absolutely adored that third act. But the entire film, legacy characters, they didn't rely on them, which I really, really liked. So overall, very emotional film, fantastic entry in the Scream franchise, and that's why it comes in at number 2. But of course, coming number 1 is going to be the original Scream from 1996. Wes Craven, he created one of the greatest horror films of all time. This is easily one of my favorite horror films of all time. My second favorite horror film of all time, behind The Shining. Everything about this film, it's a murder mystery. It's a graphic horror film. You got some great characters in there. You have a lot of meta humor, which I thought was fantastic. Everything in this film, Dewey, Gale, Sidney, fantastic characters. Of course, you have the one and only Randy. He is one of the best characters in the entire franchise. He is sort of like, if you watch Scream and you're a huge, huge movie fan, you are Randy. Randy is you in the film. And I think it's fantastic. The other characters, Billy and Stu, the killers, awesome. They're my favorite horror villains. Some of my favorite horror villains of all time. You have Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, fantastic as the killers. Everything about this film is pure gold, and I absolutely adore this film. So Scream from 1996 comes in at number 1. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can get notified for every video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.